AI, write me a script for decimal point. Wonderful! Imagine a future where we can design, create, research, or even ask any advice from this device just by typing or asking. This future is happening now as we speak, where artificial intelligence or AI will perform tasks on our behalf. But does that mean we're going to lose more jobs to AI? Do you fear or welcome a future with AI?
The smartphone that we have today is like so powerful, more powerful than the space shuttle that went to space in the 1970s.
But guess what? The future of work has already arrived on Decimal Point. According to the World Economic Forum, AI will most likely take away 85 million jobs globally by 2025. But the robot revolution is expected to generate 97 million new jobs. Data and artificial intelligence, content creation and cloud computing are emerging as the top professions. Would that mean that my job is going extinct as well?
Digital Economy Blueprint 2030. Sarawak uses AI to revolutionize healthcare and agriculture, optimizing crop yields and resource management.
We are standing at the brink of a technological revolution. The fourth industrial revolution, or Industry 4.0, which evolved from the third industrial revolution, which began in the 1960s, uses electronics and IT to automate production. But now in this era of Industry 4.0, which is evolving at a rapid pace, faster than anything that humankind have ever experienced before. But now, facing the future, are we clocking out for AI? So, Encik Samsu, can I address you as Mr. Sam?
Mr. Sam is good.
All right, Mr. Sam, could you tell us first a little bit about your background and how is your involvement in terms of the implementation or adoption of AI in Malaysia?
I'm the Chief Technology and Innovation Officer at MCMC. MCMC is a commission that takes care of a few acts of government: Communication and Multimedia Act, Postal and Courier Act, Digital Broadcasting and Digital Signature. Why I'm saying this is because those acts takes care of industries like communication industry, postal and courier, and AI is something new that's happening in all these industries. Like it or not, somebody is going to start using AI, whether you are an end user buying an e-commerce product or you are Telecom Malaysia trying to put AI in the smartphone. So MCMC is responsible to make sure that the industry is safe. We have enough safeguards to make sure that people don't get cheated. But of course, it doesn't stifle innovation. Investors are coming in because they feel confident in the ecosystem. So MCMC is an agency under the Communication Ministry.
Can you tell us the difference between generative AI and the whole picture of artificial intelligence itself?
So AI is not new. It's been there since 1965. On paper, it's been researched by many parties. But why today AI is prevalent amongst us is because computational power has become very capable. The smartphone that we have today is so powerful, more powerful than the space shuttle that went to space in 1970s. So AI is now in our hands. And so artificial intelligence really means that a computer can perform interaction as if it is another form of intelligence. So there are many types of AI. Before generative AI came into the picture, I think about October 2 years ago, before that AI had some segments. They call it deep learning, machine learning, computer vision, and they basically are part of components. Either they are expert systems that based on rules. If this happens, then do this. It's either that, or the other one is systems that are based on data. They machine learn. More data that you feed, it will understand more. And then these days, there's all this neural network where it's based on, like our brain, where it's all connected neurals. So therefore, there's a whole decision tree that basically decides on how things can be done. So generative AI sits on top of all this.
Wonderful. But if let's say I'm just anyone down the street, how would you explain Gen AI to someone like me?
Gen AI is a shorter name for generative AI. So it means that it can produce contents based on prompt engineering. So someone needs to just ask the Gen AI certain questions in a certain way. Like for example, create me a poster that has got a picture of a cat and my face at the park. So then Gen AI can create one image, like a poster, and all that you have asked for. So it can produce contents like photos, videos, and of course text. Bear in mind, what we have understood so far is that when you ask the same question again, it will produce a slightly different answer.
Oh.
It's never the same.
And how will AI impact the traditional work environment?
So AI in general is capability of a computer to perform tasks. So all humans, we perform tasks. But some tasks are robotic, laborious tasks, meaning we do it repetitively.
Yes.
If possible, we don't want to do repetitive tasks. So we would like those tasks to be taken over by something else so that we humans can do human stuff. So these are the perfect candidates for AI to take over the repetitive tasks.
What kind of skills that will be more valuable when it comes to AI in the near future, or at least now?
So I would say this is the most exciting space because it's about forecasting. What sort of skills should we tell our kids to have? And here's where maybe what I'm going to say is a bit different, because the normal answer is yes, we need to have all the modern STEM skills, science, technology, engineering, and maths. Things like physics and maths, and you must learn about data science. I think that's all needed, yes, but there's also this new thinking that's coming along where the other skills are on creativity, on empathy, justice, philosophy, psychology, the human ethical part.
Yes.
Because robots can never perform justice, can never have philosophy, can never have deep thought of creative minds that us humans have. So therefore, I would say for a country that's developing, we are not a developed country yet, so we should actually invest upskilling in these two areas, not just the science part, but also in the social science arts part. I would say from a country point of view, many other countries, America, Germany, UK, they themselves invest a lot of money, more than Malaysia, in the development of the technical part. So Malaysia is a bit behind. So if we were to catch up, which is going to be a long way, which I think therefore the investment in skills should be in the non-technical part as well.
I see. Okay. Could you give us a couple of examples of implementing or adopting AI in different industries or sectors?
Yeah, so we have seen, for example, computer vision, or they call it video analytics, where it's a normal CCTV, but instead of just CCTV where a human looks at it, it's an AI that looks at it. So example I've seen for plantation, for palm oil, durian, fruits, where CCTV is taking photos of fruits, and AI can say this is a grade A, grade B, or grade C.
Oh.
Yeah, so on the conveyor belt, quality control is being assessed by AI. So the good products go to different boxes.
Yeah.
Because the AI is trying to compare how does A look like, how does B look like, and this fruit, this looks like A, goes in the A bucket.
Okay.
That one B bucket. So that's one example. We've seen in Germany, for example, many AI is built into robots that perform car assemblies. So on the car manufacturing, you see less human, but more robotic arms based on rules to do car assembly. We also see, in our homes, consumer products, in Apple phones, in conversational AI, Siri and Alexa, in our homes where our robot can now perform cleaning, like I mentioned earlier. More TVs these days, smart AI TVs. So there's a lot of industry which I feel none is being spared. Every one of them will have an AI somehow. And I feel where AI cannot play or will not play is where humans expect another human to give service. For example, health, medical. You know, you want to see a doctor, you want to see a human doctor, not a robot doctor.
That's true.
Yeah. So when a human expects another human, then that's where AI may not be so much there.
The buzzword today is AI. It is powerful to streamline time-consuming processes and enhance workflow for the ideally calculated outcome. The possibilities are endless, and the opportunities for innovation are boundless. So let's talk about Malaysia. What are the emerging jobs when it comes to AI, and what kind of, or why is it important for the development and upskilling when it comes to AI?
We should be saying that AI jobs comes in many forms. So the obvious ones are people that use social media, the influencers, and they use a platform that has AI at the back without them knowing. So that's one obvious one where the skill is not so much technical in this sense. It's more about creativity, how to reach out, marketing yourself, you know, putting out a storyline, storyboarding. That's one part. Then you also have the AI jobs that are behind the scenes, the technical part, you know, in the what I call upstream, where you are in the production of AI itself. So in that one, we'll see jobs like AI engineer, AI ethics, AI governance, more perhaps also in the space of data governance, data security, data privacy, cyber security as well. These are all in the upstream behind the scenes. And all these jobs are important because it fits into the bigger ecosystem that Malaysia wants to be, where we should earn more from the digital economy. So today, Malaysia is about 24% of our economy coming from the digital space. But we are aiming towards 25% in next year, where we should earn about 25% of our economy, and that earning comes from our own people, companies and businesses investing and also producing more products and services in the digital AI space. So being a developing country, we should invest in all sorts of skills and, if possible, give younger people the chance to learn quickly, early, not allow AI to be learned later in the working life.
Yeah, I mean, but talking more in general, when you talk about young people or even old people, would you say that it is important for them to upskill in terms of AI so that they don't lose their jobs, or at least they can retain their jobs?
So we have seen in many parts of the country that AI is part of Industry Revolution 4.0, where it will displace some kind of jobs, but not every kind of job. But as part of the displacement, there will be creation of new jobs that wasn't there in the past. So it is important that our population in Malaysia have the agility to kind of always upskill when there's something new that comes along. Number two is to relearn, or sometimes unlearn and relearn, so that you kind of, you know, don't follow the old way of doing things and use some new way of picking up things. And thirdly is that this is all part of a smaller micro credential. Instead of going for a 5-year course, people are now learning in 3 months, 6 months, shorter bursts along the way, and they pick up the necessary understanding. You don't need to be an expert in AI to actually benefit from AI, but you need to be someone who sits on top of the technology rather than be too stuck in what the technology can or cannot do. From a high-level perspective, we have the Sarawak Digital Economy Blueprint 2030, where AI is part of upskilling and bringing the people forward.
Highly skilled humans, engineers and scientists specializing in generative AI are the ones developing and implementing these technologies and are constantly working to make it more efficient. How is AI being implemented in Sarawak's local industries?
SAIC will boost local talent, attract global experts, and position Sarawak as a leader in AI technology in Malaysia, inshallah. Expediting AI adoption among Sarawak.
So Mr. Sam, let's focus now on Sarawak. How is AI being implemented in Sarawak's local industries?
We know two innovative companies, Neon AI, that looks into computer vision and Internet of Things, and also SM Digital Innovation that looks at chatbot and conversational AI. And I'm very sure there are many more organizations in Sarawak that are looking into how AI are being used. And the spectrum of AI utilization is not limited to just industries. We see in many examples where AI is being used in education, in manufacturing, in logistics, and from an infrastructure point of view, AI is slowly being implemented and embedded into telecoms, in 5G, for example, where it's being rolled out in Sarawak widely.
All right. And what kind of programs and policies that the Sarawak government is currently implementing for the adoption and also the development of AI?
From a high-level perspective, we have the Sarawak Digital Economy Blueprint 2030, where AI is part of upskilling and bringing the people forward. And that fits into the Malaysia's larger digital economy blueprint. And we know the Science and Technology Ministry, MOSTI, have the National Blockchain and AI Roadmap, which actually has 5 areas where it covers skills and upskilling and culture and people. MCMC itself, we also cover Sarawak area. We cover actually all 14 states and territory of Malaysia. And MCMC, we bring forward a new development upcoming where it's about AI, Code of Ethics, where we want to empower the local ecosystem of licensee in the telecom space, in the broadcasting space, 7 areas where AI should be used in an ethical way.
Speaking about ethics, why is it important for us to have ethics when we're using AI?
AI has a lot of inherent characteristics. Some are known to practitioners and some are still being understood. So one of them is called hallucination, where it might provide solutions or answers that seem to be very convincing, but it may not be. So because of that, the industry is seeing the need for guardrails to protect consumers or citizens whenever AI is being applied. So when it comes to the protection, then we see that it's not only needing the law of the land, if there is one, when it comes to anything AI, but also to educate on the do's and the don't or the best practice when it comes to people or organizations that are trying to put AI into the picture. So this comes into 2 forms. One is on the technical part, where AI should have things like data protection, data sovereignty, but also on the other part, on ethics and governance and doing the right thing to protect humans. So we don't want to see a situation where AI is being used widely to, shall I say, displace humans from work. It should assist humans. Human-AI interaction is needed rather than AI taking over from humans.
So what are some of the key challenges Sarawak faces in adopting AI technologies?
So if we break down into certain components of challenges, I would say one is infrastructure and the other component is people. If you talk about infrastructure, behind AI are components like data centers, internet connectivity, energy, and I'm very sure Sarawak has challenges in some of those. Maybe energy, not so much, but in maybe trying to attract more data centers so that they build their camp in Sarawak. That's one area where it can be applied. As more energy is being used and more data centers being used, we also have the topic of carbon and energy offset, which needs to be, I suppose, the government, Sarawak government can look into how to incentivize investors to look into this new age of energy consumption and computational. On the people side, this is where the biggest opportunity lies. It's not just we have big players that comes from overseas that are bringing all the tools, but locally we need more Sarawakians to be invested in values, in community values, in society values that will then mold the AI to be more relevant for Sarawak society. Also, the fundamental technical skills, science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM, you can't run away from having future engineers in AI, future data scientists. But I feel it's two sides of the coin, where one side is the technical technology part, and the other side is the ethics and values part.
Yeah. Now that we know what the key challenges are, what would be your recommendations to overcome these challenges when implementing or even adopting AI?
Education and forward planning policy. So if I were to talk about education first, it's not good enough that we put in syllabus that are using today's end product AI. It needs to be education and research into fundamental AI, and also to expose the utilization of AI to younger population. Perhaps people or students in primary school where they get exposed in basic AI operations. It's like a kid trying to learn how to ride a bicycle. Yeah. Where the earlier they learn to ride a bicycle, it can always come back and it will teach them how to do it the correct way. Yeah. So that early exposure, I feel, is needed from an education syllabus point of view. The second thing is the policy. If the government has forward planning policy when it comes to understanding what does AI practitioner or AI manufacturers need for them to exist in the country, in Sarawak in particular, things like, for example, facilitation of good internet, computational power, edge compute, or even AI data centers that are needed, waiting for investment into large language model and computer vision. So this can become two sets of hotbeds, policy and education, which means future generations of Sarawakian should have a better stepping stone and be so-called leaders in the AI space.
Yes, and these technologies, they could be expensive. Would you say that the financial incentives provided by the Sarawak government, for example, help businesses to adopt these advanced technologies or AI in general?
So if I were to also break down into two parts. Number one, what we see today, AI doesn't pay taxes.
Ah, okay.
So if we can, if the state government can have a future policy where AI pays tax, then that's a good source of income for somehow that there's a source of income from the adoption of AI or the utilization of AI. So that's one portion of it. The other portion of it is incentives or grants or facilitation when it comes to the importation of specialized equipment that AI needs. So we know today AI requires chipsets, GPU chipsets or CUDA chipsets that are generally coming from Silicon Valley or Taiwan. And these have, importation costs and foreign currency costs and all that. So the facilitation of all that as a start, but it shouldn't be a continuous facilitation because there should be certain localization. Yeah. A Sarawakian or a Malaysian NVIDIA local large language model chipset or a local assembly of AI infrastructure, I feel is needed because otherwise we are always downstream, not able to go upstream on the AI value chain.
Right. And now we've talked about policies and infrastructure. Let's focus on the people. What steps can Sarawak take to further develop their local expertise in AI and related fields?
Also in a few parts, maybe I'll start first on research and development. Sarawak has many universities, public and private, and within those universities are, number one, students that should be exposed to the latest tools, but also, number two, researchers and academicians. We should be paying more attention in researching fundamental AI, producing more white papers, producing more research to educate policymakers. And the second space is going back to basic education and exposure. And it's not just limited to schools. It could be under MCMC, we have this thing called NADI. They are internet centers scattered all over Sarawak and the nation. And these are community touchpoints where community that find it very difficult to go into the city to get some internet information, they can go to one of our NADI and they can learn what AI is all about. MCMC has deployed Teach for AI, a program that we are implementing across the 1,000 NADI that we have nationwide, and Sarawak has many of those.
With a quarter of jobs expected to change in the next 5 years, Sarawak also had the foresight to establish the Sarawak Artificial Intelligence Centre, SAIC. It is important for governments, businesses and individuals to discuss about AI to mitigate the negative impacts and to also take advantage of the benefits AI can bring. We are clocking in for AI on Decimal Point.